Hello everybody, my name is Suman Dua. I'm a registered migration agent based in Brisbane, Australia. In this video, I want to give you some updates regarding the 485 visa, also known as the temporary graduate visa, and I will also give you some tips at the end of the video if you're about to lodge a 485 visa soon. So the first update regarding the 485 visa is that now this visa can be lodged offshore and can also be granted offshore. So this decision was made due to the COVID-19 pandemic and a lot of students were stuck overseas. So if you are currently stuck overseas and you have completed your studies, you can lodge this visa from overseas and you can also be granted this visa while you are overseas. So the second announcement that was made regarding the 485 visa was back in November 2019. The department announced that all those students who are going to study in the regional campuses will be given either 1 year extra or 2 years extra on their 485 visa. So the 1 year extra or the 2 years extra will depend on the postcode of the campus. So what I've done is I've actually created a guide where I have put all the postcodes which will give you 1 year extra, and I've also put the postcodes which will give you 2 years extra on your 485 visa. So you can download that guide for free. I will put it in the description. So you also have to make sure that you are studying in a regional campus and also living in a regional postcode if you do want to claim points for regional study, and also if you do want to get the extension for the 485 visa.
The legislative instrument regarding the subsequent temporary graduate visa is out now. So the Schedule 1 requirement for this visa is that the applicants must hold a first post-study work 485 visa at time of application for a subsequent post-study work 485 visa. So what it means is that your application for the second 485 visa must be made before the first 485 visa expires. So if you're somebody whose 485 visa has expired and has moved on to another visa, you won't be eligible to lodge the subsequent 485 visa. Also, all applicants must have graduated from a regional campus and held a first post-study work 485 visa at the time of application. Applicants must have lived, worked, and studied only in a designated regional area for 2 years continuously on their first post-study work 485 visa immediately before applying for the second 485 visa. So if you're somebody who has studied in a regional campus but while holding their first 485 visa moved to the city, then you won't be eligible for the second 485 visa. All applicants, primary and members of the family unit must be in Australia to apply for the second 485 visa application. No offshore application COVID concession applies to these applications. So if you're somebody who is overseas at the moment and thinks that he is eligible for the subsequent 485 visa application, in that case, they won't be eligible to apply for the subsequent application, because this application, this 485 visa application is only available to applicants who are currently in Australia, and the family members also have to be in Australia to lodge the subsequent application. Also, another thing to note is that there is no requirement of the English language proficiency. So you do not have to sit an English test again for the subsequent application. And also you do not have to apply for the new AFP, which is the Australian Federal Police Check, for the subsequent application. Now, to be eligible for the 2 years second post-study 485 visa, you need to be graduated from designated regional center or other regional areas. So to look at the postcodes, you may want to download the free PDF guide from the description, and in that I have mentioned which postcodes apply for the 2 years second post-study 485 visa. And it is also a requirement that you have only lived, worked, and studied in a designated regional center or other regional area for 2 years continuously on your first post-study work 485 immediately before applying for the second temporary graduate visa. Now, to be eligible for the 1 year second post-study 485 visa, applicants need to have graduated from designated city or major regional areas. So I've mentioned the postcodes in the downloadable PDF, and only lived, worked, and studied from a designated city or major regional area for 2 years continuously on their first post-study work 485 immediately before applying for the second temporary graduate visa. The second post-study work 485 commences when the first post-study work 485 expires or would have expired. So basically you will not miss out on any time from your first 485 visa. So you will get full 2 years. If your first 485 visa was for 2 years, then you will get full 2 years out of your first 485 visa before you move on to your second 485 visa. There is also a new condition that will be imposed. The condition is 8601. So what it means is that the primary and the secondary applicants for the second 485 visa need to live, work and study only in the relevant designated regional areas for which their visas were granted. Now you will be able to apply for this visa from 20th of January 2021, and the base application charge for the primary applicant is 650 Australian dollars. For applicants over the age of 18, the secondary applicants, it's $325, and for the additional applicants under the age of 18 is $165.
So another update that was recently announced was that when you can lodge the 485 visa. So previously, as long as you have held a student visa in the last 6 months and completed your studies in the last 6 months, you could lodge the 485 visa. But recently, department has made some updates regarding that. So if you're somebody who is stuck offshore, as long as you have completed your studies in the last 12 months and held a student visa in the last 12 months, you are eligible to lodge a 485 visa. Another good news regarding this visa is that if you were going to lodge a subsequent entrant application, which means for your dependent, previously it was a paper application, but now you can actually lodge this application online as well. Department has also recently updated their online application form for 485 visa so that applicants can lodge this application online and can also lodge this application while they are overseas. So these were some updates regarding the 485 visa. I would also like to share some tips with you if you're planning to lodge your 485 visa soon. So if you're someone who is planning to lodge their 485 visa themselves, make sure that you choose the right stream, because there are two streams in this for this visa. So one is the post-study work stream, which is for applicants who've done a higher education, and then there's also graduate stream for applicants, for example, who have done a trade course or a diploma level of course. Also, please make sure that you already have your English test organized. You do need overall 6 or minimum 5 in IELTS or an equivalent test. You also need an Australian Federal Police check. So make sure when you organize your Australian Federal Police check and they asked for the purpose of the police check, you choose code 33 on the online application. So that's the test you require for the 485 visa application. Also, make sure that you already have your completion letter from your university before you lodge this application, and also organize your visitor health cover before you lodge this application. So usually your visitor health cover needs to start as soon as your student health cover expires. If you're somebody who's planning to go on a 485 visa soon, make sure that you make full use of your 485 visa. So the 485 visa is a bridging visa between your student visa and your permanent visa, especially if you're somebody who wants to get permanent residency in Australia. So make sure you already have a plan. What are you going to do on your 485 visa? Have you already checked the skills assessment process for your occupation? So it could be that you have studied something where you can get the skills assessment straight away, or it could be that you have to organize work experience maybe for 1 year duration before you can get a skills assessment. So whatever it is, make sure that you know what you're going to do before you lodge your 485 visa. Another thing you may want to check is what are the requirements of your state. So it's always a good option to explore your own state before you make arrangements to move into another state. It might be easier to get the state nomination from your own state because you've already shown commitment to that state by studying in your state. As you know that 189 visa is very, very competitive and you need very high points if you want to get invited for 189 visa. So it might be a good option to look for jobs in your field, as most states will invite you if you have a job in your field and even if you have low points. You may also want to check out what your plan B will be. So what if you are not able to find a job in your field, or what if you are not able to get an invite for the 189 visa? So what will be your plan B? Are you planning to study a trade course to maybe upskill yourself? Or maybe you are trying to find another course like a higher degree that you can do while on the 485 visa. We've actually made another video where I have given you some options for recent graduates, so you may want to watch that video. I will put the link in the description. You may also want to look at Queensland's small business owner stream for the 491 visa subclass. So I will also put the link in the description for the small business owner stream in Queensland if you want to check that out, because if you can come to Queensland, invest in an existing business, invest about 100,000 Australian dollars, you will qualify to lodge your expression of interest for the 491 visa. So make sure you have a plan A and a plan B before you lodge your 485 visa. You can also download my free guide, 10 Steps to Permanent Residency for International Students. I will put the link in the description. If you're planning to lodge a 485 visa and you're not sure what steps you're going to take, please get in touch with us. We'll be happy to help you with your PR pathway. To stay updated about Australia's immigration, make sure that you subscribe to our channel.